Hi everybody, Dr. Lemster here. Welcome to the Topic 2 video assignment walkthrough. In Topic 2, we are focusing on biomes and ecosystems, and so we do have a biome and ecosystem essay, which is our main assignment for this topic. I just want to note that there are two resources that I have attached for you at the very bottom. The first resource is a student sample paper, and this is a student sample from a previous semester. I will say that it's not perfect. In fact, you can see the notes that I have left for the student for improving some of the areas, but it is a really good example of a paper that I would consider to be in really good shape. The other attachment is the template from the Writing Center in the Student Success Center. And I have taken that template and added notes for you in the comment section to help you like set up each section of the paper. So let's go ahead and walk through what the assignment is about, and then I'll show you my example paper setup. And again, you can also look at the student sample to see how they set theirs up. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to pick a biome and an ecosystem, and we're going to write a 500 to 700 word essay. So 500 to 700 words will be about 2 or 3 pages, not including your references page and not including page 1. What you can do, and it's down here at the bottom, you can look at the biome and ecosystems infographic that is in the topic resources. So if you scroll up here, you will look for this infographic here. It will give you different biomes of the world, and then it will give you different ecosystems that are found within that larger biome. So this is a great resource to go to make your selection on which biome and ecosystem you want to hone in on for this paper. Once you have that decision made, you are going to describe both the biome and ecosystem that you selected. So you can talk about the temperature, you can talk about geography, or anything that you feel is interesting to that particular biome and that particular ecosystem that's found within that biome. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to talk about a keystone species. So you're going to do research and provide an example of a keystone species that's found within your biome or ecosystem. And then you're going to talk about why the keystone species is important to the biome and ecosystem. What defines it as a keystone species? These two questions kind of tie into each other, because why this organism is defined as a keystone species is the reason why it's important to the biome or ecosystem. So these two questions here kind of tie into each other. The next thing that you're going to do is research and find an example of an invasive species within the biome/ecosystem. You're going to talk about the negative impacts that that particular species has on the ecosystem and what is being done to mitigate the impacts. So how are scientists or governments or local people even working to help mitigate the impacts of that particular invasive species? Lastly, you are going to research and find an example of an endangered species within that biome/ecosystem. You are going to talk both about what is causing the decline for that particular species, and you're going to talk about what scientists or organizations or governments are doing to help that species to get off of the endangered species list. This is a paper, it is an essay, so we need to prepare the entire assignment according to the APA style guide located in the Student Success Center. There is a rubric for this essay, so I highly recommend that you come up here and you view the rubric before you submit the assignment. I only grade straight off the rubric for the assignments that actually have a rubric, and so it would be a good service to yourself to check the rubric before you hand it in and make sure that you have hit all the things that are on the rubric. Okay, let's go ahead and pop over to the example setup. And again, all I've done is taken the Student Success Center APA template, and then I have added some notes for you just to kind of help with that setup. So let me share this screen here. Okay. Alrighty, so on this first page, you don't want to change anything, okay? You don't want to change anything at all. What you're going to do here is you're going to start you know, come here and then delete this and then add in your particular title. For example, you may just put a general title like temperate rainforest biome. Sometimes students will put like biomes and ecosystems, but it's really not a specific title. It's really nice if you're more specific to say what specifically the paper is going to be about. All of this info here, please do not modify this. So you're going to put your name here, college, it should say College of Science, Engineering, and Technology, Grand Canyon University. Here you're going to put Bio 220. Here you're going to put Environmental Science, Dr. Lemster, and then the assignment due date. The title that you have right here, it needs to be the very same title that we put here. We need to duplicate the title there. One thing that a lot of students miss is that they jump right into giving a whole bunch of information about the invasive species in this first paragraph or the keystone species. You really want to not jump right into your topic with specific information. You want to give the reader a high level overview of what the paper will be about and what the paper will entail. And you always should be ending with some kind of thesis or purpose statement at the end of your introduction paragraph. I think the easiest way to do that is literally to write, the purpose of this paper is to, you should add to here, is to examine invasive keystone and endangered species within the temperate rainforest biome. You can, you know, you can word this any way you want, but adding the purpose of this paper is to do what? Is to discuss XYZ or to explore XYZ. However you want to phrase that is okay. I recommend using headings and subheadings because it makes your paper easier to read. So you can see how I've got those here. It makes it easier for the reader to discern which section is which. And so I'm not going to read through all these notes, but you can read through the notes that I have for you. Please remember to cite everything. Anything that is not common knowledge should be cited. If you are using facts and numbers and statistics, that all needs to be cited. And then you want to make sure that you always finish your paper with a nice conclusion. Go back to what your thesis or your purpose statement was, and now tie everything together. And again, end with kind of that high level overview of what your paper discussed. For the references, it's always going to have this header here. There's no colon. Sometimes I see that, or sometimes I see that students take out the S. Your references should be formatted similar to this. So the very first line is all the way to the left. Any line underneath that is has this hanging indent. This is what they call here a hanging indent. And you'll see that that's true on all of these references. So the first line is all the way to the left. Any second, third, or fourth, or however many lines have a hanging indent here. So you'll want to bring your cursor here and just hit the tab button and move this over. You can see the same thing here. The first line is all the way to the left, and lines 2, 3, and 4 have this hanging indent here. There are a lot of really great resources in the library for how to cite sources. So, you know, just make sure that you're looking at them and that we are learning to format our sources correctly. Okay, that's pretty much the gist for the topic 2 paper. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. I know you're going to do great on it, and I hope that you have a wonderful couple of weeks. Thank you. Bye-bye.